69. Privilege and prestige. Privilege.
In the army, the prince had no privileges and was treated like other soldiers.
Prestige.
In Korea, an apartment seems to be a symbol of personal prestige, not a living space.
Wander.
He wandered aimlessly through the forest.
Uncharted.
The captain discovered many uncharted islands as he sailed through the Pacific.
Stately.
Stately buildings stood along the street of the ancient city.
Vague.
She has a vague memory of her childhood. Most students have just vague ideas of what they want to do with their lives.
Manifest.
She manifested her intention to resign from the government. They showed a manifest lack of interest in politics.
Elegant.
The princess looked beautiful and elegant as always.
Male.
The deep male voice of the choir filled the cathedral. The police are chasing a white male with long hair.
Female.
We saw a female cat walking on the wall. 83% of the teaching staff are female.
Hospitable.
The old couple were kind and hospitable to the wanderer. The desert in Chile is one of the least hospitable places on the planet.
Orderly.
The trees were planted in orderly lines.
Supreme.
Rome was the supreme power that conquered most of the known world.
Prominent.
She has played a prominent role in publishing the magazine. The tourist stood on the prominent rock and looked at the sunset.
Proficient.
She is proficient in English, Spanish, and Chinese.
Lofty.
We could see the lofty peaks of the Alps in the far distance. The French revolutionaries spread the lofty ideals of equality and liberty.
Prolong.
The representatives of the labor union wanted to prolong the conversation.
Trivial.
They even paid attention to the trivial details.
Irrational.
Many people share the irrational fear of flying.
Rational.
Students should be fully informed so that they can make a rational decision.
Monument.
The Washington Monument is a symbol of the city of Washington, D.C.
Overlook.
It is easy to overlook those trivial details. The stately mansion overlooked the blue ocean. Words in context. Marcus was born into a prestigious family. He grew up in a stately house, surrounded by male and female servants. Though his father wanted him to run the family business, he was not interested in trivial things. He manifested his intention to be a politician and left for Rome to study. At that time, Rome had unchallenged supremacy in the known world. The streets were arranged in orderly rows, and elegant, lofty monuments stood everywhere. Marcus became a prominent diplomat who was proficient in several languages. One day, the emperor received a letter from a ruler of a faraway land. The message of the letter was vague, but it was manifest that he wanted to trade with Rome. Marcus volunteered to visit the land, though it was doubtful that it was a rational decision. At first, it seemed to be an irrational adventure. He crossed uncharted rivers and wandered through deep forests. Finally, he arrived at the land, and the ruler was hospitable. When Marcus wanted to return home, the ruler asked him to prolong his stay and gave him the privilege to rule a large part of the land.